Welcome back, everybody, to 7 Days to Die. This is the Insane Nightmare Let's Play series on Alpha 18.2. I'm an old guy gaming, and we're about ready to turn in our quest from the last episode where we did Bob and Carl's. Bob's boars, Carl's corn. I have been working on the Horde base in the interim, and it's almost the end of day 25, so I wanted to come and get this quest turned in and get the next quest from him and also see what inventory he had. So let's check this out.
Here is your reward. I owe you one.
Okay, 10 sticks of dynamite, iron boots, or a green baseball bat. The baseball bat's going to be worth the most. However, I think the iron boots are going to be more helpful to us in the long run. So I think that's what we're going to take. We get 6750 XP and 1810 Duke's coins. And, oh, look at that. And we are done with tier 3. I don't care about the iron spear schematic. That's 71 and that's 545. So I think I'm going to just take this based upon the price. Okay. Now, let's see your inventory. I really would like to get myself an auger. So let's look for that and let's see what else this guy's got for sale. Tripwire post. Some brass. I don't have a lot of money. Okay, what's he got in secret stash? Ranger's Guide to Archery, bows grade 20% slower. Wasteland Desert Volume 6. This full thing. A guy can never have enough managers in cloth. Can be hard to find. So I figured out how to weave plant fibers into cloth. I have plenty of managers. Here's my secret. So that's basically, if I buy that, that means I can make cloth out of plant fibers. That's interesting. Okay, magazine extender mod would be nice to have. I'm looking for a an iron breaker. Sniper volume 4. Reload rifles 10% faster. Okay. That's really all he has. No, you know, I don't think I want to spend money on any of that stuff. With maybe the exception of the magazine extender mod. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be a bad one to have. What would we put it on, though? We don't really need this reflex sight on the pistol. So that would give us more ammo on the pistol. On here, I mean, I know this is somewhat situational, but it's going to become more and more common as we go up in game stages. Magazine extender mod would... I don't need the laser sight. So that would be a good reason to buy it right there, I think. Okay, do you have any other mods? Break mod, cripple him, structural brace. Okay.
Y'all come back now.
Alright, by the way, what jobs do you have? Tier 3 fetch. To the south. To the northwest. That's potentially going to be in the desert. That one's almost certainly in the desert. That one... Let's try this one to the south.
I have a dilemma and could use some
Business
assistance.
strip.
No matter what, I'm grateful for everything you've done.
All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our M60 and we're going to put the magazine extender mod on it. And then this we'll just kind of hang on to for something else later on. Okay, so now, how much can this ammo can this sucker hold? 89 rounds. Very nice. Okay, cool. So that's done. So yeah, I've just been working on the base here. Trying to get it ready for the next Horde night. And, what do we have now for quests? We had a fetch and a clear. This is business old 3. And this is the one that we just took, which is to the south. Oh, we got Taylor's treasure map too. Whereabouts is that at? That's in the snow, which is good in terms of it'll be easy to dig up. You know what? Let's go hit that, actually. Let's go hit that. Let's go to Taylor's treasure map. Shouldn't take us too long to do that, and then I'll take you back to the base and kind of show you where I'm at. With that, still working on it, of course. You know, just trying to get it ready for... for the next Horde. Larry the freaking lumberjack. Hate that son of a This should be super easy to dig up in the snow, though. Well, actually, that's still... I guess the snow only goes down one layer now. It used to go down, like, all the way to rock. Or to stone. That is no longer the case. Oh, don't tell me you're going to be under the frickin' house. Really? Better not be under the damn house. Okay, not under the house. So this is just a normal treasure. This is not a quest treasure, which, among other things, means that you know, we won't get jumped by zombies when we open the, you know, open the thing. And we also should have our lucky looters on, which reduce the radius, which is always good. Oh, I was going to do the boots too. So let's take a look at that really quick. So we're going to do modify. We're going to take that off of there. And we're going to modify. There we go. And that gives us a little bit of a boot upgrade. Those are actually, we're going to just scrap those. We're just going to scrap those altogether. Okay, let's get our shovel on the toolbar here. And the treasure is going to be really close to right about here. Let's just dig down right here. Hopefully we'll get something good. There we go. Alright, let's see what we got. Ooh, 13,000 dukes. Oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, the rest of the stuff's nice too, but that's some good stuff. Oh my goodness. Okay. We don't have room for all this. We'll have to, what are we gonna have to do here? Let's eat this. And we can take those ammos. What is this? Exploding arrow. And flaming arrow. Okay. Let's take the hollow points and the rocket. We don't need those snowballs, and I guess we don't need 4 things of stone. Alright, cool. Look at that snowball. That's funny. Alright, that's a pretty nice loot. The money, though, oh my goodness. That was a nice chunk of change, man. I'll tell you what. I'll take that any day. Any day of the week. Okay. Let's head on back to our base, and I'll kind of get you updated on where we're at with that, and then we'll see where we're at after we do that. Okay, so here we are at the base. Oh, you know what? I was doing a little bit of testing earlier with some explosive. That's what all this damage is. I was saying, what the hell, man? How'd that damage get there? I did that myself. Probably have a little bit over on this side, too. I put some hatches in the corners. I just wanted to make sure I could get a nade chucked down in there okay without it getting like stuck, and it worked out fine. Update. In fact, you know what? Let's get these upgraded too. All right, so what we've been working on here at the base is you'll notice I started upgrading the blocks that are going to get hit the most to steel, and we're working on getting our trench in place here for the arrow slits that we're going to put around the central column. Let's go ahead though, first of all, and get some of this stuff put away that we just got, because we're like completely full up here. All right, so we're saving that stuff for repairs for later. Let's put the bow in there, and we'll put these arrows, and we might be able to make use of those during the horde night. I'm gonna put the rocket frag in there too. And let's stick a couple stacks of 7.62s in there as well for some backup ammo and some backup shotty shells. All right, this will probably sell, I'm thinking. Maybe we will. Okay, that should be good. So up here, I took out the metal, you know, elevator thingamadoodle, whatever it was, and actually that was quite a task because you know, the columns or the supports that was holding that thing up was actually 10,000 steel. So what I ended up doing, instead of trying to break that 10,000 steels, I broke the concrete blocks that it was attached to up above here, which is why we have these holes up here. And then I went down below and broke the ones down below to collapse the thing. So that's what we ended up doing. But it was a significant amount of work to break all that. All right. And then I also removed all of the, you know, the iron stuff over here, except for this little hut, as you can see, is also 10,000. I'm just not going to sit there and bang on that with a hand pick, you know. No, I don't have an auger yet to try and fix that. So that's just going to have to stay there for the time being. And then I shortened up the little area here, you know, where the bars were, and put in some trapdoors that we can, you know, throw the nades through, but we'll keep that closed otherwise so I don't fall through like I did on the last Horde night. That was crazy. So that's pretty much all we've done up here. I patched in this corner up here. We still have some more concrete to upgrade. And I need to fix, you know, the holes here too, but that's kind of lower priority. I want to make sure the bottom part's done first, you know, so we're actually ready to go for the Horde night itself. And let's get this repaired again. Again, I just threw a couple nades down here as a test to make sure that the trapdoors would work and not you know, get hung up on those things. So that's what all this damage here is. All right, I think we got that pretty much fixed up. There's one spot there. Okay, so now we're going to keep working on the central column here. So let's go here. I had to go back to the base and get some more materials going. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to build up this central column here first. And we're going to wait for this concrete to cure, and then we're going to upgrade that central column to steel. And so we can't put anything in here until that happens. All right. But we can finish up the side walls. So that's what I was working on before I ran out of rebar and had to go back to the base and make some more rebar. And the reason I'm putting this trench here, in case you're not aware, is that we're going to then put some arrow slits around the central column, but you have to have 2 blocks of space below the arrow slits to keep the zombies from walking on them. Because their AI sees this as an actual trench, and they won't, of course, deliberately walk into a trench because, you know, they would fall down. So that's kind of what's going on with that. Now I think, yeah, we got that upgraded. So this can, I'm trying to get the central core of this upgraded. I need the top 3 blocks, the central core of the top 3 blocks are not done. So I might, you know, end up redoing those. Haven't decided yet for sure, you know, what's going to happen with that. Anyway, we need to wait for these to cure so that we can then upgrade them to steel before we can really do much more. I guess what we could do is we could put in the floor of the trench. Whoops. What the hell? Oh. But we have to make sure that we leave this block clear so we can still get it upgraded to steel. Another thing too that I'll just kind of update you guys on. Okay, we're gonna leave the north. Well, I guess it would be the south side open for the moment until that central block cures. But anyway, in an early couple, 2-3 episodes ago, I did kind of like a building montage, and I was at that point, I was actually putting down wood blocks, upgrading them to cobble, and then upgrading the cobble to cement. And I did that because it gives, I believe it gives just a little bit more XP if you do it that way. Because if I just put the rebar down and upgraded it straight to reinforced, you don't get quite as much XP, even though it's much faster and requires less resources to do it that way. So I just thought I'd point that out in case some of you are wondering why I did it that way in the video. Because I tested that on the multiplayer server, and that's the way it seemed to work. So, trying to see where we could demonstrate that. I really actually kind of need to take these 3 blocks out here so I can get the core behind them upgraded to steel, because those were already in place and or upgraded before I was able to get them upgraded to steel. So I'm gonna have to break those, but that's gonna take me a little while, and I'll have to do that by hand. Those slanted blocks were, just that's the way the POI was, and I was not going to break those by hand just to make them square blocks. No thanks, that's not going to work. Not going to work. Okay, but anyways, what I was saying is if you take a wood block and upgrade it all the way to normal concrete, in other words, not reinforced concrete, it's a few less points than if you just upgrade straight to a rebar. But the thing is if you come back then later though and upgrade that normal concrete block to reinforced, I believe you get just a little bit more XP doing that. So here we could use this as an example. Okay, so if we put that in there and we just simply upgrade it, okay, we get 480 XP in total. Or at least that's what I get, with my current skills. Okay, so we're going to write that down. Okay, we got 480 XP. Now, if we have another spot here that we could... Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so now if we upgrade this all the way to the first level of concrete. Okay, we got 456 XP, right? But remember, we still have to come by later after that cures and upgrade it one more time to reinforced concrete. And so what we'll do is we'll wait for that to cure. Or actually, no, we could just test it with this one, okay? So we were up to 456. Now, if we upgrade that, we get 240 more XP, right? So that gives us a total, I'm writing all this down here, that gives us a total of 696 XP. Now, yes, it took longer and it took more resources, but we got, basically, we got over 200 more XP per block by doing it that way. Okay? So as long as you have the time and the resources, and you don't mind, taking the time, you actually, in the long run, you do get more XP for upgrading from a wood block to reinforced than from a rebar. But, time isn't always on our side, so I started kind of just going with rebar for this latter part of the upgrades that we're doing for that reason. Okay, now, I don't like this canopy because it's not, it's like half blocks. And so it's kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. So I'm thinking about cutting it out completely and then putting a normal size block platform up there, and then setting up a ramp, you know, that we can use with the drawbridge. But that's still not the highest priority right now. The highest priority right now is to get all of this stuff down here in place and get the rest of this floor cleared out. Because I mentioned this, I think, in the previous video, you want to be at least a minimum of 5 blocks up from the floor, because that's the range that a demo's explosion will reach. So as long as you are 6 blocks up, which we are here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then the demo's explosion will not reach, you know, the platform that's down. Now, of course, it's still going to affect the walls, but, you know, that's why we're making such a stout central pillar here. So even if these walls fail, you know, this is still going to hold up, you know, at most, if not all of this, you know, this floor that it's currently supporting. So that's kind of the strategy there. All right, so this guy is now cured, so we can actually upgrade that to steel, and we can fill this hole in. But we need to wait for these 2 blocks to cure too, so we can get those also, the central core of our pillar here, upgraded to steel. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep working on, you know, cutting the rest of these blocks away from the floor. Excuse me, Gesundheit. And then when we're finished with that, hopefully, you know, the rest of this will be cured down here, and we can continue, you know, getting that upgraded. And we're gonna, you know, we'll see what happens in the morning at 9 o'clock to see if the horde's gonna come. It could come at any time. It's day 26. But remember that I have a 3-day offset, which means the horde could come as early as 4 days after the last time, or as late as 11 days after the last time. I just don't really know. I'm not, also, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of that setting. And, you know, we're going to see it through for this playthrough, because that's the way we started it. So, you know, we'll see it through all the way, but in the future, you know, playthroughs, I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep it set to either 7 days, or we might go back to, another viewer suggested going back to, you know, doing the Horde night every night like we did on the Dead is Dead series, but reducing the zombies down to just a handful rather than having a whole bunch of them. And that, you know, that could potentially make that more manageable for us to handle too. So I don't know, we'll see. But just, you know, having the offset, I thought it would add more intrigue, I guess, to the game, not knowing exactly when it's going to come. And it kind of does, but it's also, I don't know, it's kind of also a pain in the butt too, to be honest with you. Just because, you know, it took the last horde so long to get here, and I was kind of like sitting there twiddling my thumbs waiting for it to show up. And it took so long, and then, you know, now we need as much time as we need to get this ready, and it could come sooner than we want it to. So the nice thing about having it come every 7th day is at least we know, you know, what the deal is, right? Oh, don't get sick, don't get sick, don't get sick. Okay. Whew. I actually got sick earlier because I didn't take a vitamin, and oh man, what a pain in the ass that is. I hate that. I hate that mechanic in this game. I just do. I'll never will like it. I don't care how much sense the fun pimps or anybody else thinks that it makes. It's just not fun. And at the end of the day, the game has to be fun. Fun is more important than realism. Realism is important to a certain extent, but as soon as that realism starts detracting from the fun of the game, then it's no longer something that should be in the game, I think. But anyway, enough about that, right? Okay, let me get the rest of these blocks busted up, and then we'll see, you know, where we're at down on the central pillar for, you know, getting the remaining upgrades in place. Okay, so let's get these upgraded to steel, and then the rest of this will just be reinforced in here. Get those upgraded. right, cool. So our little trench is finished. Here, let's get these guys upgraded too. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put arrow slit blocks, over the top of this. What's liable to happen during the next Horde night is the Horde's going to come in and they're going to do a pretty damn good job of tearing the crap out of the base in general. But hopefully, if things go according to plan, hopefully they'll more or less avoid the central pillars because they're not going to want to stand in this area. And, you know, plus the fact that, you know, we're how much steel do I have? 163. Yeah, we're upgrading, you know, I'm going to upgrade this row as well. Plus the central core is steel all the way up to, or will be by the time I'm done. You know, to make it even that much, you know, stronger. So we might, you know, I might actually do this layer first before I do that layer. But obviously we're going to need more steel because 163 is not going to be enough to cover all of that. But let's worry about that in a little bit. Okay, so we need 4, 8, 11, 12, 13. We need 14 flagstone blocks to start with. So let's craft those. Oops. All right, and then we want to go to the shape menu and change these to arrow slits. And then we just have to make sure that we've got them rotated the correct way. All right. So what we'll do is we'll put those in like so. And then we want to turn these guys this direction. That doesn't really matter actually, but I'm just doing it that way anyway. Oh, I must have miscounted. So I need 2 more. All right. Arrow slit and copy rotation. There we go. Okay. Now let's get these upgraded. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you guys this, but I have Fortitude level 7 now, so the next point we get, we'll be able to upgrade Machine Gunner to level 4. And that means we should be able to do some, you know, significantly more damage on this next coming Horde Night than we did on the last Horde Night with that upgraded. I'm still really looking for the armor piercing 7.62 armor piercing rounds book too, but I have not come across that yet. We're keeping our eyes open for it. All right, so we'll upgrade those again to reinforced concrete once they cure. Let's get these corners done too. And that should help. What I'm thinking it's going to do is it's going to reduce. I mean, the zombies are not going to just stand here and hit on this because they were doing that last time. It's not 100% foolproof. So, you know, they might still come over here, you know, and hit on this a little bit, but they're not going to want to stand on this as much as they were before. So that should help minimize, you know, the damage that, you know, the central pillar is going to take. At least that's the theory. Now, it still could also get cop spit on it too, but, you know, it is what it is. So let's get these upgraded to steel, and I might do the 3rd level too once we get enough, you know, resources to handle that. Because this second row here, that's the one that's going to take the most damage. This could take a little damage. The 3rd row could take a little damage too. But it's the 2nd row in particular that's going to take the most. Okay, what I'm going to do now, how much do I have? 83. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bust these 3 blocks out so I can get the central core behind them also updated to steel, or upgraded rather, and then I'll replace these with new reinforced blocks. But looks like we're pretty much out of time here for this episode. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish breaking the rest of these blocks out. And then, you know, eventually what I would like to do is I'd like to do this same idea along the whole perimeter of the building. But I don't know if I'm going to have time, you know, to do that. And I kind of don't want to do it with a pick. I really need to find an auger because it's just so much work, you know, to do that by hand. And it, you know, wears out my stamina, so I got to buy coffee and eat lots of food. So it's going to be so much better, you know, to do that with an auger. So we'll see how it goes. We'll just see how it goes. I was also thinking about maybe reducing the size of this, you know, to a 3x3 and filling all this in with concrete blocks too. And the main reason I would do that is just because, you know, it's less area for the cops to spit up through and hit up on the ceiling, because, you know, I haven't even gotten, you know, that damage up there repaired yet. And it's more protection for us too, because we don't really need this. Oh my gosh, sorry. We don't need this much of an area really for the bars. You know, a little 3x3 area would be adequate, I would think. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, leave a comment, that sort of thing. And in the next episode, you know, just depending upon when the Horde Night comes and whatnot, I'm just going to keep working on the base. But we'll go ahead and get back to questing here again. I'm just trying to split up the episodes so they're not like all back to back, you know, working on the base, or all back to back, you know, doing POIs. We're just trying to mix it up a little bit. So in the next episode, in general, the plan is that we'll do another POI. Okay. All right. Catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.